I am born in Poland, raised in Canada, and I'm taking Master of Product Design.
I'm taking the Master in Product Design and I'm from Colombia.
Iran. I'm studying car design and mobility.
From the Netherlands. I'm taking the master course in design.
Car design and mobility. I'm from Turkey, Istanbul.
I'm French and I'm on fashion design.
Accessories design, and I'm from Australia.
Fashion design, I come from Switzerland. I'm from Greece and I'm studying interior design.
Interior design. Korean.
I'm from India, Masters in Business Design.
I'm from Taiwan, Business Design.
I'm from Mexico, Master of Urban Management and Architectural Design.
Philippe Cazens, I'm coming from France.
Kitsch, chaos, people suffering from anorexia pushed by the television.
Style, history.
The made in Italy is luxury fabrics, is well done because the fabrics are very good.
Quality and innovation.
Sculpture.
Creative problem solving.
An international expectation that it's going to supersede or going to perform on a higher scale or a level than other products. Keeping with the trends as well. They're very strict and they adhere a lot to that in Italy and in Europe in general.
The architecture and product design, individual studios and individual products.
Shopping. Italian guys. Showing off.
Very interesting people here and sometimes they excite me.
Made in Italy. That would have to be extravagant furniture, leather purses, pasta, wine, and tiramisu. The way that I see Made in Italy is similarly to how I view Domus, actually. Instead of, designing a chair, like if someone tells you to design a chair, everywhere else you will sort of, do some research on chairs in the past, and then you will do some sketches and maybe some mock-ups. But, in Italy, if you design a chair, then first you're going to sit around espressos for 5 hours discussing the essence of sitting, and only then will you actually approach the design task in itself. So in a way, Made in Italy is something that's a little bit more philosophical up front before it becomes a product.
I don't think it have a particularly characteristic to be made in Italy, history for example.
I think Made in Italy was all about things which were manufactured in Italy in various regions of Italy a long time ago, which also happens now. Furniture in one district and maybe shoes in another district. When people said this is made in Italy, it all reflected the quality. So if it was made in Italy, it was associated with high quality standards and yeah.
It's a lifestyle, I think.
Very, in some ways, generic because of the expectation of what Made in Italy is. It's such an enormous part of the economy and the industry, and it's so heavily dependent in this country that Made in Italy continues. So it's very, very generic in some ways and very sort of stereotypical. Very strong and very solid, and they're good at what they do, and obviously it's a country that's fixated on beauty, and so everything's all very beautiful and very refined and very well done, very well executed, very strong concepts, but it's a little bit bland, I think, in some ways because of that very same thing. So the strength is also the weakness, and I think they have to start perhaps to let go a little bit of that, to let go of the fixation on beauty and on trends and seasons and colours and all of that, and just be a little bit more experimental and take a few more risks.
You can be made in Italy even if you are not Italian, as long as you think the way the designers in Italy thought a couple of years ago.
Everything is coming from exactly the feeling of things. And if I see this shape of this car, I realize that it's made in Italy.
You're always satisfied with what you expect, but you're never surprised by it.
Artificial. It's more emotional and more related to human being, because in Italian design I guess there is no high tech. Everything is related to past, the Roman Empire, the Renaissance. Maybe it's the effect of the total income.
To me, Made in Italy is having a company that was raised by Italians long ago, and then all of a sudden they couldn't manage because of their probably chaotic kind of approach towards managing things. So it got bought by an international company who was able to run the company. And nowadays everybody is calling Italian design, but it's actually not Italian design, it's designed by other nationalities. And brought into the market by, from origin, Italian companies.
Elegant, luxury, and raffinate, probably.
It's just a matter that Italy had a lot of history behind that we don't have, and that makes some kind of evolution.
They always think about this time, not the future and not the past. Just living right now.
Instead of working, they like talking so much. More unorganized, according to other European countries.
Italy is maybe more folkloric, more close to the Mediterranean spirit.
It's a different society, it's a different way of living, it's a different culture, especially in my country. There is no one culture. It's a country that's completely based on immigrants, so there's no majority. Religion, ethnicity, nothing, there is no majority. So you find little clusters and you sort of consume in a different way because you're almost consuming other people's cultures and other people's ethnicities and ways of life and their food, and it's a beautiful way to live. It's very different here because they have one history and we don't have that in Australia. We're a new country, we're just over 100 years old, so it's just a completely different way of viewing the world and a completely different set of values as well.
In terms of the way Italy works and the way my country works, it's not too different because in my country you also have handicrafts and various regions producing various things because it's very rich in raw materials and there is a lot of domestic industry. But the only difference I think is whatever is manufactured in India is consumed by the population itself, because the population is so huge, which is why it hasn't got a chance to actually portray itself to the outside world as something substantial. Whereas in Italy, I think, because it is a part of Europe and because of the history also, the European history and everything that it has had, I think it has emerged as, or it has got a showcase or a platform to exhibit its qualities, I think.
Oh, we're the same shift.
Canada has a very short history, so everything becomes really sort of pragmatic and logical, while Italy is based in its classics.
The main difference between my country and Italy is probably the efficiency in things. In the Netherlands, when you want to have something, you will get it within a few days. And when you want to have something in Italy, it depends on a lot of factors. Like if you speak the language, which is kind of logical. If you want to have it really bad, because you have to come back for 20 times to be able to get it in the end. So there's a lot of information lost during the process to be able to get it.
France and Italy are like a cousin. The model of reference for French is Cartesio. Italy is much more, the reference is Dante Alighieri. It's more matriarchal society. I mean, women has a strong power in Italy.
Canadian design doesn't have, again, much design history, but now it's sort of up and coming. But again, it's definitely design that doesn't last as long. It's definitely design that's sort of more on the IKEA concept of, mocking up something together really quickly.
In my country, everything is coming from natural content, which is a little bit looking at the past. But here, everything are the people looking at the future. Here, we are always grab things from a lot of points that surround us. But in my country, not. We always grab things in ourselves.
Nowadays, to struggle with the other companies in the world, the Turkish companies are giving more importance to design field because they understood that without giving importance to design, it doesn't work.
Massive, massive, massive difference. It's a very big difference. It's all very beautiful here, and I mean, in a world where everything is beautiful, beautiful is what's expected. And you know, in Australia, my design lecturer said to me, if you want your product to be something that people remember and that people see, don't make it beautiful, make it ugly. Take something on it and make it a little bit ugly so that there's a little bit of tension in the product. Otherwise it just melts into everything else that's beautiful. And because it's a country that's so fixed on beauty and things that are, you know, harmonious aesthetically, you don't see that tension.
Italy is in Europe, and the design culture all started in Europe. The design in India it's not international. I don't think it will be in another 10 years, at least.
For fashion, I can say that Switzerland is really not the place for fashion, definitely not, because it's not known for this, apart from chocolate, fondue, and
here they are really famous, really good jobs.
The way in Italy the industry believes in design. In my country and in other countries, it's very difficult for design to achieve the goals because the industry doesn't believe in that and they don't work as a team. So in Italy it doesn't happen that. They are friends.
French design is mostly technological and made by engineers.
Well, Italy presents itself as one of the few countries that still has artisans, and to have very craftsmanship kind of approach towards design. But in that sense, if you look at the Netherlands, that approach is definitely coming back also in the Netherlands at the moment. So in that sense, I don't see it as a big difference. On the other hand, I think Italian design is more emotional approached. Somebody likes it, they like it, and they're not gonna put an entire marketing strategy before they're gonna launch it on the market, as they do in the Netherlands most of the times.
Made in Italy is more bright.
Super normal. And it was totally the antithesis of design. This particular exposition was totally a basic design. It's a design and it doesn't look that it's design. So I really, really like it and I didn't expect it to see.
I expected experimentation with design, materials, with ideas, concepts. I expected all this and I saw.
For the salon, for me it's very shock.
I saw an exhibition of Renzo Piano in Triennale. For me it was very mind-blowing because he showed like sketches and things that nobody shows in an exhibition. You know?
Well, maybe the exhibition in Triennale where they had the big bowls of water with mobile telephones inside, with hair blowers inside, and they were making a statement against the rules around design for safety. And since we are in Italy, rules are not really existing, so I was a little bit shocked that somebody tried to provoke against those rules, of making people aware that those rules are not always necessary to be able to express, because everybody knows they cannot put a hairdryer in the water. But since we are in Italy, rules are most of the time they are there to just know how to go around those rules. So in that sense I was a little bit surprised.
Now the stuff that's coming out, like during the new Italian design, there was some surprising things, some things that I did not expect. And also moving away from core furniture and more into sort of handheld small products and products that are also driven by technology.
Actually, no, because my country is too close to Italy, so...
Actually, no.
No, I don't.
No.